give him the one contender, Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane is somebody that's a big heavyweight, that's very agile. I don't think Tom Aspinall gets rid of him right away like he has with other people. And I think that'll be a big indication if John Jones wants to come back and reclaim that bout once again.
Aspinall versus Gane is a massive transitional fight for the heavyweight division. Now, you got to understand where we're at. And I'm a checkers player. When it comes to matchmaking, that is a unique skill and vision. But I will always go with low-hanging fruit. It's just the way my mind works. I take the biggest fight for right now.
Cyril Gane, who's 6'5", 247 pounds, moves like a 170-pounder. He's bouncing like Wonderboy. Completely changed the standard of heavyweight striking.
Can Cyril Gane beat Tom Aspinall?
MMA pros have just shared their predictions in the upcoming clash between Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane. However, Tom Aspinall said he believes he matches Cyril Gane in speed and movement, but has the advantage with his grappling and undeniable power. He highlighted his record of knockouts and explained that it only takes one clean shot from him to change a fight, especially at heavyweight. Aspinall added that he was not even throwing with full power in his recent bout, expecting it to go 5 rounds, but still managed to secure a knockout, showing the impact of his striking.
I think I match up pretty well against him. I think I'm equally as fast as him. I move equally as well. The difference is I can grapple. I've got a lot of power, and I think that's pretty undeniable at this stage of my career. I've got a lot of knockouts on my record, mate. I have to touch you once, and I wasn't even throwing heavy tonight. I thought it was going to be a 5-rounder. I didn't mean to knock him out. I was pretty sure that was going to be a 5-round fight tonight, and just takes one shot, mate, at heavyweight, especially with me.
Tom Aspinall further said that after more than a year away, the fight with Cyril Gane is finally set, marking their 4th time being matched up. Scheduled for October 25th in Abu Dhabi, this will be Gane's 3rd title shot, and Aspinall stated that his goal is to end Gane's championship hopes for good.
Finally, we're back after over a year hiatus. Cyril finally signed on the dotted line. This is the 4th time we've been matched up together, and now we are matched up for the 25th of October, Abu Dhabi. Me and Cyril, the 4th attempt is here, and this is Cyril's 3rd title shot. We are going to try and get rid of Cyril Gane from the title picture for good.
However, Tom Aspinall has been seen in training camp sparring intensely ahead of his clash with Cyril Gane. Reports describe him as looking sharp, powerful, and highly focused, pushing himself hard in every session to prepare for the heavyweight showdown.
Let's go!
On the other hand, Cyril Gane is also preparing intensely, showcasing his brutal power in training camp. He has been working in striking, combinations, and movement, demonstrating the strength and skill that make him a dangerous opponent in the heavyweight division. Moreover, Tom Aspinall said that unlike some fighters who freeze under pressure despite looking deadly in the gym, he thrives when stakes are high. He explained that any talk or hype does not faze him, and once the gloves are on for his October 25th fight against Cyril Gane, it will be about who performs best under pressure, not the pre-fight build-up.
You know, there's the guys who I've trained with from my experience who in the gym are absolute world beaters, and they'll get in a fight and they'll just freeze up, and it doesn't work like it does in the gym. They fight way worse. And there's other guys like myself, anytime there's pressure on me, that's when I've done my most devastating performances. Oh, talk's just talk to me, mate. It doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, we're both going to take our shirts off, get a pair of gloves on, and go in there and see who wins on October 25th. So it's not really going to change anything, to be honest.
Furthermore, Henry Cejudo said that giving Tom Aspinall a fight against the #1 contender Cyril Gane is a big step. He noted that Gane is a large, agile heavyweight and believes Aspinall won't be able to dominate him as easily as he has other opponents. Cejudo added that this matchup will be an important test and a key indicator if John Jones plans to return and challenge for the title again.
You give him the number one contender, Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane is somebody that's a big heavyweight that's very agile. I don't think Tom Aspinall gets rid of him right away like he has with other people. And I think that'll be a big indication if John Jones wants to come back and reclaim that bout once again.
Kamaru Usman said that Cyril Gane is often underestimated despite being a fantastic fighter who can float around the octagon, strike with punches, kicks, and elbows, making him a complete and dangerous opponent. However, he added that Tom Aspinall's movement, boxing speed, and power make him extremely difficult to doubt, highlighting the high-level matchup ahead.
Cyril Gane is, people forget how fantastic he is. A guy that can kind of float around the octagon, touch you, kick you, hit you with elbow. He's just a complete game. But man, Tom's movement, his boxing, speed, and his power, it's very, very difficult to doubt this man anymore.
Daniel Cormier said that finally getting the fight between Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane is exciting, as fans have been calling for it for a long time. He noted that the betting odds suggest it is not a close fight, but he disagrees, believing the matchup is much closer than the lines indicate, with Tom at minus 325 and Gane at plus 265.
And we finally got Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane. Chill, we've been screaming about this Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane for a long time. UFC 321, Tom minus 325, Gane plus 260. We finally got the fight, but the world doesn't seem to believe, Chael, that it's a close fight. And I don't really agree with that line. I think this fight is much closer. Tom Aspinall minus 325, Cyril Gane plus 265.
Joe Rogan said that Cyril Gane, standing 6'5" and weighing 247 pounds, moves like a 170-pound fighter and bounces around the octagon like Wonder Boy. He noted that Gane has completely changed the standard for striking in the heavyweight division and questioned whether he can overcome Tom Aspinall.
Cyril Gane, who's 6'5", 247 pounds, moves like a 170-pounder. He's bouncing like Wonder Boy. Completely changed the standard of heavyweight striking.
Can Cyril Gane beat Tom Aspinall?
Matt Brown said that while both fighters face pressure, Tom Aspinall carries more at stake due to the heavyweight division's reputation and his potential legacy. He explained that if Cyril Gane wins, it could further damage the division's credibility, whereas Aspinall has the opportunity to prove that he's the elite of the heavyweight class. Brown emphasized that even a close fight or minor setback for Aspinall could impact perceptions of the division and his standing within it.
It's almost an unfair comparison, right? When we talk about pressure versus pressure, everybody's under tremendous pressure. But I guess when you kind of look at it from not just pressure, but potential legacy and career and what's on the line, I think it's hard to not go with Tom Aspinall because the heavyweight division is on the line. If Gane goes in and beats him, no disrespect to Gane, love the guy, the heavyweight division loses a lot of respect. Even if Tom goes out there and it's a close fight or he gets dropped and then has to come back or something, like, the heavyweight division has so little respect right now, probably deservedly so, I think. You know, with Gane getting his third title shot in a couple years, like, Tom has to show that he is the heavyweight division. You know, he has to prove that to the world. Like, I am, you know, the heavyweight division's not just, but like, I'm so good that the heavyweight division is right. This is kind of his thing that he has to go out there and prove to the world.
He added that the outcome may also affect future matchups, including a potential fight with John Jones. Brown noted that Jones will be watching closely, looking for any weakness or mistake from Aspinall, which could influence future opportunities. This high-stakes context, combined with the heavyweight division's current lack of respect, makes the bout particularly significant for Aspinall's career.
If he goes out there and loses to Gane, you know, the division already is not respected. That brings Tom down significantly, I think, right? And of course, you know, the potential John Jones fight, which is whatever, who knows, right? Like, how he beats Gane, assuming he does, may play a factor too. Like, if it turns out to be a close fight, again, John's going to be on his phone with Twitter open watching this fight, like, just waiting for Tom to and get dropped, get leg kicked and limping a little bit, or, you know what I mean? John can't wait for that moment.
Michael Bisping shared similar thoughts, highlighting that Tom Aspinall has already dominated most of the top UFC heavyweights, knocking out names like Curtis Blades, Sergey Pavlovich, and Alexander Volkanov in style. However, he pointed out that Cyril Gane is a different challenge due to his size, speed, and athleticism, comparing both Gane and Aspinall to a heavyweight version of Georges St. Pierre. Bisping noted that while Gane is incredibly agile and skilled in the feet, his lack of grappling was exposed against John Jones and could once again be his downfall against Aspinall.
Now, when you look at the UFC heavyweight rankings, as I say, Tom has beat most of them, and he's beat them in style, and he's knocked them all out. Curtis Blade, Sergey Pavlovich, Alexander Volkov, whoever they are, he's beaten them all up. But Cyril Gane is a little bit different. Now, of course, John Jones beat Cyril Gane in quick fashion, took him down in the first round, submitted him with a front choke. But Cyril Gane is the same as Tom Aspinall in terms of athletic ability. When I say that Tom Aspinall is a heavyweight George St. Pierre, that kind of goes to Cyril Gane as well. The man's gigantic. He's very quick. He's agile. He's light on his feet. He could run any sport on the planet. And he's almost like George St. Pierre and Tom Aspinall in the fact that he's got all those athletic attributes and qualities, but he doesn't have the grappling. That's what cost him against John Jones, and that's probably what's going to cost him against Tom Aspinall. You never know. He could clip him. This is a dangerous fight. This is heavyweight MMA.
He emphasized that Aspinall's grappling, honed since his teens, will likely be the key factor, especially with his father pushing him to use it. Although Bisping acknowledges Gane's striking danger and the unpredictability of heavyweight MMA, he leaned toward Aspinall to get the job done. He also hinted that John Jones will be watching closely and might react publicly if Aspinall fails to finish Gane as impressively as Jones did.
But Tom Aspinall can grapple. We've seen him take people down. He's done jiu-jitsu since he was about 15 years old. His dad is going to be on his case, and that's an absolute fact, saying, hey, you're not messing with this guy. Take him down, show him what you can do, show the world your grappling capability. Remember, Cyril Gane turned Francis Ngannou into a wrestler, okay? So he's a very, very credible threat on the feet. But of course, I do fancy Tom Aspinall to get the job done. The fact that he isn't fighting John Jones is insane, but we've talked about that till the cows come home, so I'm not going to bore you on that subject anymore. But just you wait. John Jones is probably going to pop up on Twitter. If he doesn't beat Cyril Gane as fast as what John did, guarantee we're going to get some tweets.
Chael Sonnen explained that the upcoming clash between Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane is a pivotal moment for the heavyweight division. He described it as a transitional fight that could shape the future landscape of the weight class. Sonnen admitted that when it comes to matchmaking, he often takes the straightforward approach: choose the biggest fight available at the moment, rather than thinking too far ahead. However, he acknowledged that sometimes the sport requires a chess-like approach where long-term planning outweighs immediate opportunities. He mentioned that according to Cyril Gane, this fight had already been attempted to be booked 4 times in the past. Sonnen added that for the sake of rankings and the integrity of the division, the matchup makes perfect sense now.
Aspinall versus Gane is a massive transitional fight for the heavyweight division. Now, you got to understand where we're at. And I'm a checkers player. When it comes to matchmaking, that is a unique skill and vision. But I will always go with low-hanging fruit. It's just the way my mind works. I take the biggest fight for right now. But sometimes you're playing chess. And I admire the guys that can do that. I admire the guys that can stand back, look at the board, not think about what's right now, think about what could be. Cyril Gane versus Tom Aspinall. According to Cyril Gane, he just did an interview. They tried to make this fight 4 times. And for rankings and for the integrity of our rankings, I get it.
Chael Sonnen further explained that Cyril Gane is an exceptionally skilled and decorated kickboxer with a professional record that stands around 27 wins and 3 losses. Though, he admitted, he sometimes mixes it up with 29 wins and 2 losses. He pointed out that this level of striking experience makes Gane a dangerous opponent for anyone in the division. Sonnen emphasized that Tom Aspinall, on the other hand, has made a name by himself by finishing 6 of his opponents in the same manner, keeping the fight on the feet and ending it with powerful knockouts. This shared preference for stand-up fighting, combined with their different levels of experience in striking, creates a compelling stylistic clash that has drawn significant attention.
And it's a hard matchup. By the way, Cyril is a very decorated kickboxer. Off the top of my head, I believe he was 27-3 in professional kickboxing. 27-3. I get he and Adesanya's record confused one time. One of them was 29-2 and the other one was 27-3. I'm sharing for you when you're Tom Aspinall and you beat 6 men all the same way, which is stand up and by knockout. It's a matchup wise, it's an interesting match.
Chael Sonnen lastly questioned why Tom Aspinall was stripped off his title, saying it is not as simple to understand as some may think. He expressed genuine curiosity about the situation and asked for a clear explanation behind that decision. Sonnen mentioned that while he appreciates the matchup between Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane, what excites him even more is the possible fallout and consequences that may follow the result of that fight. He then shifted his focus to Jon Jones, arguing that Jones' sudden retirement might have been influenced by the shifting dynamics in the heavyweight division, with rising contenders like Aspinall and Gane creating a landscape that could challenge his legacy or alter his plans moving forward.
You want to be a really smart guy and you want to impress Chael? Tell me why Tom is no longer interim champion. Put that into words for me. I'm serious. Explain to me why Tom was stripped of a title. It's not as easy of a riddle as you might think. And when I look at Tom versus Cyril, I like the match. But I love the potential fallout from the outcome of the match much more.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about the matchup? Would love to hear your thoughts on this. So share your thoughts in the comment section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also, check out our other videos on the screen right now.